Taurus, let's start with your reading. Today, we are going to look into the energies around you at the moment, and then we will take a look into the events coming up for you in the next 12 months. Now, let's start with your main energy. Okay, Taurus, the first message for you today is communication is key. And I feel that you are in a situation where instead there is a lack of communication. We see right here two different faces, completely different, the opposite. And right now, someone went quiet. Even if the two of you are talking, there are things that are not being discussed and that are kept underneath the surface. Why? We'll have to see. But this overall dynamic is creating a discontent, and it's making someone decide to perhaps give up, to move on and forget about this. Let's see what this message is about, and let's start with your reading. Wow. Okay. I mean, this is definitely a very strong connection, stronger than you actually want, Taurus, because it's impacting you in a way that you wouldn't want it to impact you. And we see it right away here with the Three of Cups, but especially with the Devil reversed. I feel that you're wanting to move away from conflict, and something has changed in you, Taurus, lately. Trying to move away from something or someone who often ends up having some sort of impact on you. And you're really trying to control that so that it won't affect your stability anymore. But it's been a process, obviously, and these sort of situations don't happen overnight. And in fact, I've seen you doing this recently, and you just need to make sure that you know that this takes time, because you can move on from someone physically very quickly, actually, but often your emotions are still there, are still connected to that situation, to that person, and that will take some time. But right here, I see that you're wanting to get to a place where you can finally enjoy yourself again. Let go of the worries, let go of the concerns of this attachment. Because right here, you have felt as if the stability of this connection, of this situation, often defined your own personal stability. But some of you, since the Devil is showing up reversed, have shifted to a position of independency, or at least are starting to. This is finally taking you to a place where you're able to stand your ground when it comes to this situation, when it comes to this person, or even when it comes to your own thoughts. Right here, you are not wanting to let this person define how your day is going to be like, how you're going to feel. There is definitely communication here. And perhaps you're trying to find a way to tell this person that you need some time for yourself, with your friends, doing something else other than thinking about how to fix this, how to make this successful. Right here, someone is saying, I just need to detach for a little bit, and I need to reprioritize my mind and the situation, my life. It's easy when the Devil energy appears to lose yourself in that connection. And now your work is towards finding yourself again, regaining a stability that will not be impacted by anything or anyone. Don't forget that your escape, Taurus, is always the truth. And the truth is that regardless of how your heart feels in the moment, no one should be able to bring you instability. And a love that hinders you It isn't a love worth feeling sad for. Sometimes the best thing is just to walk away and let this person figure this out on their own. And you're doing that, but there is a challenge coming up here, and we'll see what that is. In the heart of the reading, again, we have two opposites: the Queen of Cups, the Emperor, and then the Hangman as a result down here. And so, first of all, against all odds, we see you working on yourself, but still waiting for some sort of resolution, closure. Perhaps, one last conversation where the two of you are going to really talk things through and eventually put an end to this. Whether you are wanting to put an end to the relationship or the cycle that the two of you find yourself in. Or possibly you're just really waiting for you to fully let go of this situation internally, emotionally. The issue might be that some of you were hoping that when you detached, this person would pull you back in, right? Would put up a fight or would reach out at some point. But there has been silence. This person is being very cold, very strategic, very controlled. And with silence came a lot of questions as to what you really want to do at this point. This is typical because when you're fighting, you're busy fighting, and you can easily ignore your inner voice that we see here with the Queen of Cups. But when all of a sudden there's silence, you can hear that voice very well. And maybe right now, Taurus, you're not liking what it's telling you. Perhaps you're feeling a little hurt that they're not fighting more for this. You're thinking, you know what? It would be so much easier for me to stick to my guns if this person were to show me that they want this. And honestly, Taurus, don't feel bad about that. It's actually very typical, and I have experienced that myself too. Knowing that you have the option puts your mind at ease, makes you feel that that element is accessible. Therefore, it's there when I want it. It's not urgent. But when you feel that that door is closed shut, and when you don't know what's happening behind that door, those questions can become so loud, so powerful. And that's where you find yourself stuck right here with the Hangman. The truth is that I currently see you both wanting to fix the situation, both of you. But at the same time, no one is taking action towards it, hoping that the other person will at some point. We'll see what your person is thinking when we clarify. But right now, I just see that you're both stuck in some sort of limbo. And there is a way out. There is, but it's all in your hands, Taurus. You overall need to understand what you truly want here. Listen to that inner voice, because if you really wanted to move on and let go, you wouldn't need any closure right now, right this moment. You wouldn't be waiting for this person to give you a sign so that you can finally let go and walk forward. Instead, if you feel that you have still unfinished business, let's call it that way, and you need to have a sign or at least one last conversation, well, then in that case, you somehow need to start opening up to the possibility of reaching out, or allow this person to reach out to you in case you have blocked them. If the conversation were to happen, we see that for some reason, certain things that would be said would really surprise you. Not sure how yet, but this truly looks like everything that you needed in order to get out of this limbo and move forward with or without this person. So in the near future, by the way, the Six of Cups, I haven't seen it. This is exactly where I picked up on that energy that talked about the two of you still connected to each other. You're still missing each other, and it's here. In the near future, we have the Magician and the Queen of Swords. Regardless of what you decide to do here, and regardless of who initiates this, honestly, with the Queen of Swords, we do see a conversation. This is not the usual messy conversation that perhaps always ends up with someone saying something that they should have not said, or someone just leaving the room yelling, or those type of conversations that are very emotional and never really resolve anything. Right here, what you see is that someone is deciding to come in order to really talk and really understand how to move forward. This is someone who is saying, I understand that the two of us have had issues. I also know, though, that there is still something there which inevitably brings me back to you physically or emotionally. I don't know. And I need to hear those words. I need to know that this is over in order to fully move on. Just say those words and I'll be out. Never look back. And that's when the surprise might come in, because here we finally see that the energy that was kept underneath the surface, those words, that communication that we were talking about at the beginning of the reading, it's starting to manifest on the surface finally. But we'll have to clarify. Now, do not mistake the Queen of Swords' straightforwardness as something that symbolizes someone who's not emotionally invested in this. Not at all, quite the opposite. She just decides that it's time to put the emotions aside and talk to get somewhere, anywhere, honestly, at this point. Because now the Queen of Swords, this person right here, is truly ready to move on from the discussions and conflict and rebuild themselves wherever that might be and with whomever that might be as well. And although we cannot see what this conversation will be like yet, we see the sun, which means that this is your only way out of that limbo, Taurus. The only way out is through. And the next near destination looks already very promising to me. So look at this, the Wheel of Fortune as well, and the Three of Pentacles, talking about being on the same page about something. So let's see. Let's now clarify all these messages in order to find out the details of the situation. What is the other person thinking, feeling? What are their true intentions, the ones underneath the surface? What is that always ends up bringing you back to each other? And how will this conversation change the very trajectory of this situation? Let's see what's coming up and what you should expect in the next 12 months. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, Taurus, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week, I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free, personal, 30-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Taurus. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the upcoming events, it's Judgment. And this is a great energy to have at this point of the situation. First of all, what we see here is a realization. Someone who understands the situation better and someone who understands the role that they have played into this dynamic and starting to not blame the other person anymore, but blame themselves for certain things that have happened. And this is the shift. This is the shift that can really potentially take the situation to finally a very happy place. I hear apologies here. I hear something that is truly coming from the heart. But I also see something unexpected with Judgment and the Magician, but I want to confirm it because this is clearly something that you didn't see coming. And I want to make sure that that's going to be the case. So let's start clarifying these cards, and let's start with the Magician, Queen of Swords, and Judgment as well. Okay. Yes, one more. Wow. Listen, this is clear right here. This person is now seeing you. The two of you are getting together, are starting the conversation because it will happen, unless you block it, of course. And what we see is an immediate surprise. What is this surprise that I keep talking about? Well, it's right here.